Peace and love, family. Welcome back to another one. Desiree D. Ray Wise, spiritual and coach here, helping you to heal your relationship with self, to heal your relationship with others. Listen, we are in, I want to say, the most powerful times of the year, if not like one of the most, right? Gotta be like top two, gotta be like top two, top three powerful times of the year for spiritual people like you, like myself, to really activate and turn on and just do something amazing. Okay. And so I've been just feeling this beautiful energy. And I'm like, we gotta talk about this. We gotta dive into this energy. And I want to tell y'all, when I break this stuff down, it is going to give you so much clarity, so much understanding about this space and time right now. All right. Also, I want to let you know straight off the rip, your girl is doing readings this week. Your girl is doing readings this week. And the what the readings are going to be about, I'm going to tap into all throughout this live stream today because the energy is so powerful. The energy is so intense right now. And I want all of you, all of my family, my soul family, my spirit family, I want y'all to be able to get this energy. I want you to be able to embody this energy. This is literally the cosmic shift that we've been waiting for, right? And it's such an opportunity to fully embody your higher self. That is what this energy is all about. So, I got the higher self transmission readings that are coming up. Let me see. Boom. I got the higher self transmission readings that you can start tapping in with today. All right. If you know anything about the work that I do, readings is so powerful, right? They give so much energy, so much confirmation, and so much guidance. And so, this higher self transmission reading is all about what is the message the higher self is giving you right now, right? How is the higher self asking you to embody more of your own divine light? That is what the energy of right now is talking about, right? It's like, listen, you are already a divine, sacred being. We know that. But we also know that we can be very human. We can be very fragmented. We can be very disconnected from ourselves. And we are in a space and time right now where it's easier to tune in, to tap into the higher self, and to become one with it. And so I'm going to explain that to y'all throughout the reading today. The reading. I'm going to explain that to y'all throughout the video today, throughout this live stream. But the reading is going to give you personal one-on-one information about what your higher self is transmitting to you. I'm going to help you to be able to recognize the messages that are coming through from you. I'm going to give you practical steps, practical guidance on what you can do day in and day out to embody that frequency. Okay. And if y'all know me, you already know that it's going to be amazing, right? It's going to answer so many questions for you. So, with that, listen, I want y'all to see how your girl does in the readings. Okay? Listen to what this young lady says real quick.
Hello. I received a reading from D Ray, and it was absolutely amazing. D Ray, I want you to know that you touched on a subject that I have been contemplating and trying to figure out for 2 years now. Um, you mentioned a particular.
Look, even that right now, when she's saying that, she like, D-Ray, you done said something I ain't never told nobody.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, first of all, for that reading. You know what I'm saying? On point. Like crazy, like more than I even thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? That's like I don't even know what to say. Like because for a while I was doing a meditation on a four-leaf clover, right? Constantly. But for you to come back and say I need to work with this leprechaun energy, I just met a young lady.
Wow. Let's see what she says.
I just want to say thank you, D-Ray, for that reading. That reading was so on point and in alignment with exactly what I knew I needed to be working on. There was a lot of synchronicity showing up while I was actually watching the video. I was in the car and I was just seeing things as you were mentioning them. I actually saw a black cat when you mentioned a black cat.
Ooh, that's fire. Let's see.
Peace, peace. My name is Micah. I just wanted to give my quick testimonial on my recent love reading by D. Ray. First off, sis is phenomenal, out of this world. Okay, always.
Anyways, listen, y'all know how I get down. When I tap into the energy, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be fire. And I'm so excited to do it. Have y'all been feeling this intense energy right now? And when I say intense, I don't mean bad, I don't mean scary, but it just feels like something bigger is calling you. Do y'all feel that? Let me know in the comments if y'all feel that. If y'all feel like something bigger has been calling you right now. Let me get a yes. Ooh. Say yes, I feel hype. Listen, let me also say this because I didn't mention it. If you want the reading, it is, I think, pinned to the top of this comments, whatever. So you can tap in with there, but trust and understand is going down. The link is attached. Okay. Yes, y'all been feeling this energy like something bigger is calling you. So y'all been hearing about the words the Lionsgate portal, right? Let me know if y'all been hearing Lionsgate portal or 8-8 energy. Let me know if y'all been hearing about that in the comments. Put a yes in the comments because listen, everybody talks about it, and I feel like it be sometimes it just be stuff, right? But the way Spirit has given it to me, it just makes sense, right? It just makes sense. And I'm like, wow, I have to share this with the family. So y'all been feeling the big energy and y'all been hearing 8-8, right? But the 8-8 portal, I want y'all to know it's way deeper than 8-8, August 8th. It's way deeper than that. Look at this. This is these are physical representations around the world of a quote unquote lion's gate. Okay, this one right here is in Turkey, and you have two lions that are creating a gate or a portal into another space. All right, so first, just pick up on that. Whenever we're talking about a gate, whenever we're talking about a bridge, whenever we're talking about a portal, we're talking about going from one state of being into another. We're talking about here and then going through there. That is what we're talking about. And so this is physically, right? I mean, every door in your house is a portal. You have the door into your house. You have the door from your bedroom into the bathroom, et cetera, et cetera. It takes you from one place to another. So the Lion's Gate portal is that. And I just love that throughout history, you see different Lion's Gates that represent, these are physical representations of something spiritual. So this Lion's Gate right here, the big one that you see, this one is in Turkey. And this Lion's Gate that they have was once used to fortify their land. So if they were going to war, before they could go into battle, they would have to cross through this Lion's Gate, right? This one right here, this Lion's Gate is in Greece. This Lion's Gate is in Greece, right? And so, and then obviously y'all know Lion's Gate, the actual media production. But I want y'all to understand this. Lion's Gate is a space in time, which is why I'm saying this is such a cosmic time for a cosmic shift right now that I'm so excited about. And I will tell y'all, it's not just, yay, it's the Lion's Gate portal. Oh my God. Wow. Like, no. When you're dealing with this Lion's Gate portal, you got to go from one state to another. And who knows what state you're going to be going from. You understand? Like, and to get to a higher place in space, sometimes within that portal, there's a little bit of trial, tribulation, strife. I mean, y'all, just yesterday I cried. I cried yesterday, a good cry. Okay. And it was so healing. And it was a testament. It was spirit telling me, okay, this is the new gateway that you have to walk through. This is the new portal that you have to enter. So go ahead, cry it out, release, and let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to move. And so even when we do the readings, who knows what's going to come out? Who knows what your higher self is going to tell you? Listen, you got to let that go. Or, okay, you got to embody this. But understand this is a portal that you get to walk through. And I'm going to guide you and help you to understand why this portal is even happening at this space and time. Okay. So these are actual Lion's gates that exist around the world. One of the most prominent Lion's gates that literally exists like a physical structure is the Lion's Gate that's in Jerusalem, right? Where it's this doorway, it's this portal, and it is said that before Jesus was about to be crucified, he had to walk through that Lion's Gate. So it's a door, and then it's two lions right above the door. And before Jesus was on his way to crucifixion, that's what he had to walk through. Now, listen, I am not here to battle or talk about the reality of Jesus. What I am here to tell you is that these stories, these mythologies, they mean something. It matters. Okay. And so I'm super excited about the energy. So here it is. Here it is. The main idea when it comes down to this Lionsgate portal and why it is absolutely so powerful is because the Sirius star and the sun are what's actually creating the gate. This is the gate. Got it? You got Sirius, you got the sun. Sirius, okay, let me ask y'all this. When you look at this star, Sirius, what comes up inside of you? Like, what words are triggered when you look at the star Sirius, when you look at its size in comparison to the sun? Drop some words in the comment that come up for you. What does this star look like? What does this energy embody? Even just looking at the physical picture. Of course, y'all know I'm going to talk to you about it from the spiritual perspective. Ooh, I love that. Zolu says abundance. Ooh, definitely. Cosmic energy says massive. What? Massive. Look at it in comparison to our sun, in comparison to the earth. Like what? Barbara J says awesome. Absolutely. Wow. I like the wave. All of those are beautiful words that describe this energy. And when we look at it in relationship to our sun, I want y'all to see it as this. This is what's happening in this divine time. In this divine time, you are the sun. Your human self, your physical body, your human limitation is the sun. It's the fragmented self. It's the small self. It's the ego self. Got it? Divine perfection says whole and complete. I love that. This is our incomplete self. Got it? And then you have Sirius. Sirius really embodies spiritual energy, right? Sirius is the higher sun because technically it's a sun too. It's a star and a sun, right? But it symbolizes the higher self, our vast self, our whole self, our complete self. And so what's happening spiritually in this space and time is we have our human self. Well, let me talk about it from the physical. From the physical, we have the sun coming face to face with its higher self, Sirius. We have the sun having to look up at its greater, more developed, more holistic self, its higher density and higher vibrational self. Okay? You want to know why this is so important? Why these days are so important? Late July, early August, is because the veil is thinner, meaning we can see interdimensionally. Got it? So literally, when we look up at the sky in this space and time, we can see the star Sirius. Okay? You literally can research. You can go on Google and say, wherever you are located, I am in Houston, Texas. What day and time from now until August 8th, August 6th would be best for me to see the star Sirius? You can literally type that in and get that answer. So, but if you research that same thing in December, you research that same thing in March, you're not going to get the same visual of Sirius because the veil has thickened. Other astrological things are moving around, and so you don't get to make contact with Sirius in that way. Okay? So are you seeing? I want y'all to let me know if you are picking up what I'm putting down and if you are understanding why this time is so powerful. It's because within these days, the dog days of summer, it is between these days that we get to see this higher dimensional star we call Sirius. Put a yes in the comments. Put a yes in the comments if you are understanding and picking up what I am putting down. Put a yes in the comments if you understand that this is a space and time where your human self can make easier contact in connection with your higher dimensional self. Okay? We are talking about interdimensionality. We are talking about being in this 3D, but being able to connect 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. That's what we're talking about right now. And I don't listen to a lot of like spiritual videos and things like that. So I don't necessarily know what people are talking about when it comes to this space and time. Lionsgate, the Star Sirius, I really don't know. Like I listened to Dreams and his video was super dope, right? But other than that, I don't really know what people are talking about. And I just feel like it's a part of my work, right, to make it plain. It's a part of my work to make it plain, to make it simple, and to give it to y'all in a way that you could actually embody. Listen, I just felt called real quick, right? I just felt called real quick to go to this book, The Functionary, and see what he has as the description for Sirius. And then listen, shout out to, somebody done already booked their reading, right? I don't know what anybody else is waiting on, but Prima Latisse, she said, I'm going to be number 1. And you know, I'm going to tell y'all right now, these readings, they book up fast and it be a lot. And when I tell you, I give in the readings, I don't skimp, right? So it takes time, right? I'm going to just be real with y'all. It takes time. And so like Prima Latisse, who said, I'm getting my reading instantly, I don't need to know more about it. She obviously is going to be the first person to get her reading because she's the first person to purchase, but she understands the sense of urgency. So I just want to put that out there to y'all just to say this energy takes time, right? Shout out to Prima for not wasting no time at all. She's like, I don't got time to wait. All right, let's look at in the book, The Functionary. This is a great book. Y'all know Bobby Hemming recommended this book. I'm going to read what it says about Sirius because I want y'all to have a deeper understanding, right? It says, Sirius, it is the brightest first magnitude star seen from Earth. Do you hear that? That within itself is exciting. It says, it is the brightest first magnitude star seen from Earth. It is the doorway to the cosmic core of this galaxy or branch of galaxies called the Orion's arm. Sirius is also derived from the Greek word Sirios, meaning scorching. Wow. It is the hottest part of the summer, which coincides with the heliacal rising of Sirius. Right? This is so good. Sirius is important to us here on Earth because it acts as a transmitter or the focalizing center, which emanates influences which produce and induce self-consciousness in man. Put a yes in the comment if you were able to pick up that definition. Okay? Sirius is the transmitter. Sirius is the connector. Sirius is the higher self. Sirius is the stream of consciousness. I love the way Dream put it. You go, baby. I was so proud of his video. If y'all haven't watched his video, y'all should go and watch it. He talked about how when this time happens, there's a flooding of the Nile River. And the flooding of the Nile River is symbolic to this cord that connects from you, the human, to the higher self, to the all. There's a cord, right? Matter of fact, and that brings me back to the story of Jesus, right? Jesus is a representation of God in the flesh. That was the point, right? That was the essence for humans to have a realization of who they are. They are God in the physical, right? So you got you. There's a beautiful picture of this. I'm going to find this picture. Human, higher self, God, connection, cord, image. Listen, y'all got this is one of my favorite pictures that really shows what this energy looks like. And listen, when we can understand this, we are absolutely unstoppable, right? So look, check this image out right here. How can I expand that? Let me show you what I mean. Come on. Let me see. So if you look, let me see, share this screen. Hold on, let me show y'all this. I don't know why my screen is it sharing, y'all? Let me share a screen again because I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to get this at the very deep level. All right. Can y'all see this? Put a yes. Okay, I think y'all can see it. All right, boom, y'all see it. Perfect. So this image right here, which I wish I could make larger. Let me see. There we go. Perfect. All right. So this is what we're looking at, right? You have you, the human, down here at the bottom, right? This is the human down here at the bottom in the pink, right? Let me know if y'all can see that clearly because it looks kind of small to me. I want to make sure that it's big enough. I really want y'all to get it. Let me know in the comments, family. You got you, the human. Yes. You, the human, down here at the bottom. You, the higher self. And then God, the all, the source, energy. Okay, yes, it's clear. Thank you, Barbara. Yes, thanks for the thumbs up. Thank you, CC. You have you, the human, down here on the earth, flesh, okay? Then you have the higher self. Then you have the all. This is literally, so when we got this serious times happening, right? When we have these dog days happening, the Lionsgate portal happening, what we're saying is that our higher self is in closer proximity to us, right? Which this is not always easy because it's going to force you to look at aspects of yourself that are not in alignment with that embodiment, right? It's shining a light on the aspects of you that are still fragmented, that are still ego-centered, which is why even when we look at astrology, in astrology, the sun represents the ego, the moon, subconscious, or the mother. So as we get closer to Sirius, which is a reflection of the all, which is the cosmic portal, the cosmic gateway, right? When we get closer to Sirius, Sirius starts to say, too much ego showing up there, right? Or too much unresolved trauma showing up there. So it's not always easy, but it also brings with it more purpose and more light. And that's the main part that I want to focus on today. Okay. When we get this close proximity to Sirius and it starts to shine light on us, it starts to reveal to us who and what we're meant to be. It starts to reveal to us our actual calling and our actual purpose for this reason. Shout out to Titus, who just got his higher self transmission reading. I see you. I don't even see you in the comments, Titus, but you booking a reading, right? Say what's up in the comments, bro. Okay. So let's keep going. So y'all have heard this before. You've heard that Sirius represents the dog star. And this is the dog days of summer, which is why as Sirius becomes closer to the sun, it amplifies. Can y'all feel my excitement for this? Can y'all feel my excitement for this energy? Because it's so damn hot outside right now. A part of it is because Sirius is closer. It's because Sirius is amplifying the light of the sun, the heat of the sun. As Sirius gets closer, the sun gets hotter. Okay, it's been hot as hell in Houston. Dream said that he was looking on something on the news had showed Arizona. In Arizona, cars and stuff was melting because it was 115 degrees. Right? And that is not solely based off of what is happening with chemtrails and HARP and all of that. Like all of that stuff matters, right? All of that stuff is actually happening. But what supersedes that is the spiritual essence of this space and time and what is necessary right now. Okay? And let me also say this, because this is so good. So good. In these days and times, right? These dog days of summer. First of all, we already know we're in the Jason months, which is a very highly ritualistic time of the year. We already know that, right? Because we're going into quarter 4. We're going into the end of the year where it's like us as humans, we feel like in our minds, we're like, it's the end of the year. I want to go out with a bang. I want to make sure that I give this end of the year my all. Whatever you didn't do at the beginning of the year, as we're going to the end of the year, you're like, oh, I got to get it done right now. So everybody's just putting out more energy, more work, more liveliness in these Jason months. You're trying to accomplish something. You don't want to go into January and then look back on 2025 and be like, damn, I didn't do shit this year. Or damn, I didn't set no goals. I didn't make no changes. So right now is when people start to get very serious about taking action. Not just us, right, spiritual beings, but government, right? New policies being thrown into place, everything. All right? But spiritually speaking, this is a time where spirit is like, let me see what you need to see that will actually carry you properly through the rest of the year. Okay? Let me help you to see what needs to be purged, what needs to be released, what needs to be embodied more. Right? This time that we are in, these dog days of summer, this Lionsgate portal, is so that we get a higher realization and more clarity on all of those different things. Okay? So here's one of the things that I want y'all to pay attention to as well. Have y'all been seeing more and more and more social media stuff pertaining to what's happening in Gaza and this war between the Palestinians and the Israel people? Have y'all been seeing more of that? Let me know. I swear, every time I get on any type of platform like Instagram or maybe YouTube, even TikTok, and mind you, I'm not the type of, I don't seek out things like that, right? I'm talking about the people that I'm like subscribed to or the people who I follow. Influencers are posting more and more and more and more about the war that's happening over there. And that's spiritual within itself, right? But I feel like a part of that is happening not because that war is not real, because we know that that war is real. It is happening. And it is very sad and it is very traumatizing. But I feel like it's also happening right now, specifically during these dog days of summer, doing this Lions Gate time to make us focus more on the negative qualities of humanity. That's just my perspective, because I've seen it so much. And when I see it, it's like, ugh, it's hard to see. It's hurtful. It's traumatizing, but it's also distracting. Because if I know that the planet Sirius is closer, and I know that my higher self is really transmitting insight and wisdom to me right now, I don't have time to be distracted about a war that is happening and that is terrible, horrendous, right? But I got to be tapping in the spirit. I got to be getting this insight and information to say, how do I first better myself? How do I become more one with myself in order for me to best serve the world around me? So when we're seeing the war and when we're seeing all of this trauma and drama in this space and time, it is to have you not listening to your higher self and listening to what they want you to be focused on. Okay? So again, I saw a little bit of Melanie's video this morning. I watched a little bit of it, and I saw her, she posted something that said, you know, are you going to focus on fear or are you going to focus on frequency? And so in this space and time, we are in, let me show y'all this. In this space and time where we got the dog star closest to us, what is going on? I don't know why. There we go. In this space and time where we have the dog star closest to us and we are in the dog days, we need to understand that we want to be focused on the God star during these God days. Okay? The word dog and the word God carry the same frequency. They have to. Everything is frequency. Numbers are frequency. Letters are frequency. Words are frequencies. And as we have the dog star, which is the God star, Sirius, as it is closest to us, we have to focus on our frequency and how we are embodying that higher star, how we are embodying our higher selves. That's the essence of this time, right? And I got more proof for y'all that I'm just like so excited about. Let me see what Dream is saying here. Sirius rising time is about the portal, vagina. Go into the darkness. I'm just telling y'all what it is. I think so too. I think so too. Not even just necessarily about the vagina, but it's about going into the feminine, right? It's about going into the feminine. The feminine quality is that of spirituality, is that of growth, development, healing, transformation, mysticism, the portal. So you're absolutely right, right? This is a time where we are to be connecting with the most sacred part of ourselves. And listen, it's not to say that you don't do that all the time, right? I know that y'all in here every day, you are focused on how you can be your best self. You are focused on how you can embody more spiritual energy, more insight. I already know that you do that. But these days, right? This end of July to early August, these days support you in that connection, right? This space and time is like a conducer that just turned on to amplify that communication. Okay? Put a yes in the comment if that's making sense. Put a yes in the comment if y'all want to hear more, if you want more proof of why this time is so important. Put a yes in the comments, right? We are closer to the sun. Oh, really? Really? You got me distracted and misspeaking. That's why I was down there so long last night. You were so, I guess so. You ain't lying. But see, I wish I would have known you was being all intentional like that. You was being all intentional like that because you was trying to tap into that Lionsgate portal. You was trying to tap into the Nile River, to the divine feminine. You want to know, damn, that's so deep, right? So y'all know that's my husband right there that's talking. Y'all know, most of y'all know that. If you don't know, Dreamwise, that's my husband. Go follow him. Go subscribe on YouTube if you're not already. Most of y'all are. You want to know what you said is just so important, babe. And this is the connection that this Sirius energy is really giving. Because last night, while we're doing what married couples do, and I was literally thinking, right? He talking about couldn't let you block my blessings. You are so silly. He's silly. Last night, I was using that energy of pleasure. I was using that energy to focus on something that I want to happen for me and my children, for us, for our family, really. And so, in the act of that, what I had intentionally did was I had took that pleasure that I was experiencing in my lower region, and I had like really connected into my heart, because I was telling myself, I don't want to share exactly what I was saying, but I was just like, God, from my mouth and from my heart to your ears, this is what I desire to happen right now. And I literally just pulled that energy and I just visualized the light. And let me tell y'all, it does not have to be perfect. When y'all are doing any type of visualization, any type of meditation, it does not have to be perfect. Perfect is an illusion, right? What it does have to be is intentional, right? You have to have that heart, that desire, and that emotion involved with what you're doing. And so as that was happening, I was just so intent on letting this pleasure be a guide to my connection and sending that communication through that stream of consciousness. So going back to that image that I just showed y'all, where you see the light that goes through the crown, through our crown, through to our higher self, or that Sirius being, all the way into source, the all, into everything. That light is the portal. That light is the conducer. That light is the stream of consciousness that we're exchanging, right? So if you want to have a physical understanding of what it looks like, imagine a beam of light coming through your head right here. Sirius right now, that light, that beam is wide open. With Sirius being closer, all of these downloads and transmissions are coming through, right? And so that's a part of why I'm doing the readings. I'm like, I want you all to own this moment, own this space and time. Don't be like, oh, this just is another astrological whatever. I get it. I'm not even the type of person that talks a lot about things that are happening cosmically. But what I do understand is that what is happening externally, astrologically, is happening internally. It's happening spiritually. And we don't want to miss that. We don't want to take that for granted. We want to lean into that. We want to use that energy to amplify what we already have going on. Okay? Let's keep going. This is the thing right here that is, to me, one of the most important aspects of this time. Have any of y'all ever heard of the Feast of Transfiguration? Let me know in the comments if you ever heard of the Feast of Transfiguration. Highly spiritual time. Highly spiritual time. Have y'all ever heard of the Feast of Transfiguration? If you have, let me know. If you haven't, let me know. Good. Good, good. Thank you so much for giving your answers, Zolu. Okay. What an amazing download this is about to be for y'all. Cosmic energy. Yes. Oh, Barbara J says, yes, she's heard of it. Yay. Wow. All right. The Feast of Transfiguration is when Jesus revealed who he actually is, right? It is when Jesus actually showed himself and actually embodied the God light, the God frequency holistically. Okay. So what happened at the Feast of Transfiguration is Jesus and some of his disciples were sitting on top of a mountain, hence this image. First of all, y'all, when I went on Google to find images of the Feast of Transfiguration, of course, they were all white Jesuses. And I was like, no, I got to find the black Jesus. And this was the best that I was able to find, right? But more than the image, I want you to understand the energy. So at the Feast of Transfiguration, Jesus and two of his disciples are sitting on top of a mountain. And he shows them himself in his light body, in his light form. Ooh, sit with that, sit with that, sit with that. My heart explodes when I really sit with the understanding of that. I want you to sit with the understanding of that for yourself. What does this mean? Jesus on the top of the mountain is physical. He's talking to his disciples, right? He's telling them, look, I'm about to show you something, okay? I'm about to show you who and what I really am. And as they have this conversation, his body transforms into light. He goes, right? He goes from being in physical form to an actual light body. Okay? So imagine you see me right here if I just went straight light. If I'm right here in the physical, and then next thing you know, all you see is a beam of light. This is the Feast of Transfiguration. What is this talking about? And you want to know why this is so divine? It is said that the Feast of Transfiguration took place between August 6th and August 8th, when Jesus finally revealed who he really is and what he really is. Are you all seeing? Are you starting to see, just from me even explaining this, are you starting to see why this Lionsgate portal and this 8-8 energy is so important? It has been documented through all space and time, since the beginning of time, since we were first able to see the star Sirius, that during this time, we are embodying more light. So none of this is coincidence. None of this is happenstance. None of this is for no reason. Okay? So what does this mean for you? This means for you that this is a space and time for you to embody more of your divine light. What does that mean? What does that mean? After the Feast of Transfiguration happened, this is when Jesus started to really accept the fact that he was going to be crucified in order to embody his full self. Okay? After the Feast of Transfiguration, this was like a space and time where Jesus became more accepting of his divine calling, which was to be God, right? Again, I'm just telling you all the story. I want to make this clear. I'm not telling you true or false, right or wrong. I'm telling you the mythology, right? The same way you all may look at the mythology of Aset, Isis, Heru, Osiris, whatever. All of these stories are a story about ourselves. Okay? This is so important because this is a space and time where you are becoming more and more familiar with your reason for being here. The Feast of Transfiguration is an activation of purpose. That's what it is. So when Jesus in his story, right, when he revealed himself, he was accepting the fact that this is where I have to go next. This is what I have to do next. Right? So he had accepted, okay, I have to fulfill my purpose and transform into the light completely. Now, is a crucifixion easy? Obviously not. right? But I want you all to be prepared for whatever that may look like for you to ultimately fulfill your purpose. I want y'all to really listen to what I'm saying to you right now. I want you to really get it. I want you to really get it. This space and time, the dog days of summer, the Lion's Gate portal, the Feast of Transfiguration, these are all words that are saying the same thing. This is a time where you become activated and turned on to your real essence. You come face to face with you at the highest level. You come face to face with you at the highest level. This recognition of your higher self and who you are at the highest level prepares you to fulfill your purpose. It equips you. It empowers you. Oh, 1111. Yay, yay, yay. Thank you so much for that. Zolu. What, I mean, like what? Like what? Like, and even for us to get 1111, some of y'all recently saw my little, my short or my reel that I did talking about the power of spiritual numbers. The power, I mean, even for us to catch 1111 right now and for 1111 to say, hey, I'm here, is further proof. And even 22 people in the comments, right? It's further proof of this message. The mythologies that we see, right? The stories that we observe. All right, peace, brother. The stories that we observe, what is happening astrologically is a mirror. The 1111 is the ultimate mirror, is the ultimate frequency. It's the ultimate reflection. Right? That's what it is. 1111 is also a portal. It's also a doorway. It's also a gateway. And so for that to come up right now is just, again, confirmation of what I'm saying to you, which is in this serious time, your higher self is ready to fully embody you deeper, right? Is ready to fully embody you deeper. This doesn't mean that your humanity is totally obliterated, right? That's not what that means. It means you get a greater gist of like, it's almost like you get this bolt, you get this lightning, you get this hit of yourself, your wisdom, your insight. I was listening to Miss Blue the other day and I had a revelation of this. Miss Blue was saying, in this last live stream she did, maybe, I don't know, like sometime over this past weekend, she was talking about the lightning bolt. And when she said it, of course, I picked up on the download. But as I've been really sitting in this Lionsgate portal, that the bolt is the information that is coming from Sirius. And so a part of why I'm doing the readings is to support the family in that. Like, are you able to get that strike of wisdom and insight that hits? And it's so synchronistic because even last night, do y'all watch Sandman? Let me know in the comments if y'all watch Sandman. On this last episode of Sandman, Delirium, ooh, this is so good. This is so good. Delirium comes to Dream and she says to him, she says, Dream, we as the endless, right? Let me be clear with this before I even tell the story. You all are Dream. You are destiny. You are the endless. You are everlasting. You are forever. Last night's episode was so good. It was so good on Sandman, episode 8. But she comes to Dream and she says, he says something about seeing lightning, something like that. And she says to Dream, she says, when you and I see the lightning, when we stop and we look at the lightning, hold on. She says, when we stop and look at the lightning, we cause a change, a shift in all space and time. She told him, you think that you're just making a difference in that moment, but you will make a difference forever and ever and ever and ever. And she said, us staring at that bolt, at that lightning, will cause everybody or lots of people to stop at the same spot and look up. She said, and while they may never know what they're looking at, they don't know what they're looking at, they're going to stop, they're going to look up for what was once there, that lightning bolt. And she said, some people will gain something beautiful from that. Some people will take away something beautiful, magical from pausing and looking up at this same spot where we first observed this lightning. And then she said, other people may get hit. Right? And then they continue their conversation. And at the end of the conversation, they get to the point to say how essential it is, how important it is that though we are endless, though we are infinite beings, that we change and that we understand that there's so many realities, there's so many destinies, there's so many outcomes that can come about through our life experiences, through us making the decision. So I'm wanting you to really understand right now in this space and time that you get to use this Lionsgate portal. You get to use this 8-8 energy. You get to use this feast of transfiguration time to deeper connect with your higher self in such a sacred way. And to allow it to set you on a path of greater self-realization. When Sirius comes close, this is self-consciousness. This is you becoming more familiar with you. And this is you not being afraid of what that looks like. Let me ask y'all this. Have any of you ever found yourself afraid of being who you know you gotta be? Put a yes in the comments. Put a yes in the comments if you found yourself afraid, or even maybe not even afraid, or apprehensive or anxious about being who you know you gotta be. Let me know. I know I have. I mean, shit, I be like, for real? Like, that's what I gotta do? Woo. But you know what I'm so grateful for? I'm so grateful that God, the divine, most high, this Sirius energy, I'm so grateful that God always aligns me with people, with books, with information that supports the healing of that, and that allows me to embody more of my life, because it's really about embodiment, right? You may know what it is you got to do, but not know how to embody it. There's a difference. That's why I named these readings. Real quick, I want to show y'all this again. Because Spirit, like, as I talk more to y'all about it, I get more and more clarity, even about the readings, right? Like, I just act off of Spirit. Spirit says, you need to do this. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. But I had on the readings, right? I'm going to click the link. On the readings, I had put embody your own light. That's what I put for the readings. And now that I'm like talking to y'all, I'm like, oh shit, that's why I did that. That's why I did the embody your own light, right? Because that's what this energy is about. It's about how can I embody more of my higher sacred self? How can I get out of the fear of that embodiment? How can I just trust? How can I embrace? How can I live in this frequency? That's what this energy is about. And it's so big and it's so powerful and it's so here, you know? And I think so many times in our upbringing, we've been conditioned to fear being ourselves. We've been afraid of being ourselves, right? And And I'm going to help y'all understand why. From childhood, we are ingrained with this fear, right? Because on a subconscious level, let's say we have a certain emotion. We feel something. And our parent says something like, what you crying for? I'm going to give you something to cry about. Our parent says, suck it up. Our parent says something like, you ought to be ashamed of how you feel. Or you ought to be ashamed of what, like, we hear words like that, right? We hear narratives like that. Have y'all ever heard narratives like that when you were growing up? Right? Where you were made to feel like how you feel or how you think isn't right or isn't good or would create a level of detachment. Like if you be who you are called to be, you're going to be detached or separated from the people that you love, your mother, your father, your siblings, or you're not going to get any friends. You're not going to, like, have y'all ever experienced that? Like you can't feel or think the way that you naturally do, because if you do, something's going to happen. Somebody's not going to like it. And then on a human level, our ego self is like, I don't really want to be secluded. I don't really want to be disconnected. I don't really want to be an outcast. I don't really want to be. And so we get conditioned to not be ourselves. And so even the version of ourselves that we are today, right? Going back to this Sirius energy, even the version of ourselves that we are today is a lot of times just focused on this energy, the ego energy, who we feel like we have to be able to sustain and survive the environment. Which is why the Feast of Transfiguration was so good, right? Right? This time, the Feast of Transfiguration, where Jesus reveals himself to his disciples. You know, before he revealed himself to these two disciples, they were in doubt. Ooh, that's so good. Do you hear me? Let me know if y'all hear me. Let me know if you feel me. Let me know if you feel me. Right? When the Feast of Transfiguration happened, Jesus was with his closest disciples. And it is said that, you know, they had faith, right? They had faith. They believed, right? They had a little bit of belief that Jesus was the real deal. I mean, they had saw him do healings. They saw him bring, make people walk and bring life to the dead and feed people off of a loaf of bread and 2 fish. They've seen the magic. They've seen the magic, but there was still a little bit of doubt. There was still some doubt there. And then when he revealed himself, oh my God, when he revealed himself, when he allowed himself to be light, they became full-blown believers of who he had called himself to be, or who he had claimed himself to be, or the purpose that he had for his life. Really let that sit in your spirit right now. Like I gotta breathe. Like, take a deep breath with me, because my heart is like exploding right now. We are in a cosmic time that has been around for centuries. The importance of this time, these days. And these days invite us, awaken us, activate us, amplify us, and give us a deeper sense of purpose and of calling and of essence. Literally. And so for those of you who've been afraid of being yourself, this reading is for you. It's the higher self transmission reading. How do you embody your divine light? The more you embody your divine light, the more you'll make people believers. The more they'll have to see, like, oh shit, like she really her. He's really him. They are really who they say they are. because you are being it day in and day out. And with Sirius being closer, our higher self is like, let me give you all of this. Let me pour all of this into you so that when you get crucified, because I mean, listen, the crucifixion is going to happen. You got to bear your cross. That's a whole nother topic, right? Lauryn Hill said, Jesus Christ was a superstar. You stupid star. Come on. We are looking at the star Sirius, the dog star. Jesus Christ was a superstar. You stupid star. They hail you and nail you no matter who you are. You're going to get crucified anyways. Listen, do you understand? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. You might as well be who you were called to be, because the crucifixion happens no matter what. And the reality is that when you don't embody the fullness of who you were called to be, you crucify yourself. You crucify yourself when you don't be who you were called to be. When you don't allow the wisdom of your higher self to really penetrate you. When you don't integrate the fullness of your higher self. You end up crucifying yourself because there's a level of, because you don't do what you came here to do. You've come here to do a divine and sacred work. And so when you don't fulfill that on a spiritual level, on a soul level, you give yourself consequences. Because at the end of the day, we are always seeking justice. We are always seeking balance and mayat. So it's like, why not be who you were called to be? Why not embody the fullness of your higher self? Why not allow these days to transform you? Even if it's just a little bit. Even if you're not fully prepared to walk in the light of who you were called to be, how can you do it a little bit more now? How can you do it a little bit more today? Right? You don't got to do it all at once, but you got to do something. And I'll tell y'all, as I've had these realizations myself, I mean, so much stuff had come up. I was like, oh my God, like, whoa, slow down. I had to slow this Sirius energy down. I had to slow this Lionsgate energy down. I had to say, okay, Spirit, give me little by little, okay? Spoon feed me, okay? Don't just dump it all on me. I mean, for days, Spirit has just given. Have y'all been receiving a lot of downloads right now? Let me know. Kayla says, crazy how something so easy was once so hard. The secret is being yourself, dog. I just gave it to him. Moon Man times Young Thug. The secret is being yourself. That is the secret. Authenticity is the secret. I think what we want to look at, which is why these readings are so good, because many people are afraid of being authentic. One, because of the judgment and the crucifixion, which is going to happen anyways. Crucifixion just means judgment. That's it. Crucifixion just means judgment, right? People casting a perspective of you, right? You're into witchcraft, or you're wrong, or you're good, or that's all it means. It's judgment. It's going to happen no matter what. That's the way of life. That's what this experience is, right? That's how we connect and relate to the world, right? So all of these downloads are coming through about all of this work that we got to do, about all of this. I mean, so many different things. And it's happening in the physical world, like your physical human life, changes that you got to make. And it's also happening spiritually, changes that you got to make to further embody who you are, right? So if you want support with that, I'm just going to drop the readings one more time in the comments, just because a lot of new people are coming in here. Okay. We got the higher self transmission readings happening right now. We are just honoring and appreciating this Lionsgate portal. We are just honoring and appreciating this Sirius energy, this dog days energy, this feast of transfiguration energy. It just is what it is, you know? And I know sometimes it can be difficult for people to understand their spiritual messages, right? I get it. It can be difficult for people to understand their spiritual messages, but also sometimes people don't know how to decipher the message, right? Like you may get it, you get the message, but don't necessarily know how to apply it physically, right? And so that's one of the things that I have been gifted with spiritually, where I can take something that's spiritual and make it digestible, right? Put it into bite-sized pieces, help you to really be able to apply it to your life, okay? So if that's something you're interested in, I'm gonna drop the link right here so you can check it out. Let me read. Yes, Zolu, I know you're gonna get your reading. You always get your readings. I love that. Skyrocket 777 says, yes, I didn't know what was happening. I thought I was tripping. Exactly. So many downloads are coming through right now. And it's so dope that you got that 777, because I was just talking about the 7, right? And how the 7 is about being able to bring down the downloads. I was born on the 7th. I cannot make this up. I just forgot about this. Who was live with me? I did a live stream like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I talked about the 7. I talked about how deep the 7 was right now. I talked about it in my Chat GPT video. If you have not seen how spiritual people are using, did I talk about Chat GPT? Yep, I think I talked about it in my Chat GPT video. Either that one or the practice is the portal to power. One of those live streams, I talked about the 7, and I talked about how the 7 energy, matter of fact, we're still in, today is the last day of the 7th month. Today is the last day of July. With this, these spiritual synchronicities are literally divine messages of the energy right now. It is the last day of the 7th month. We're talking about the 7 again. The 7 as the channeler, right? Because we got the 7 chakras. We look at the 7th chakra, the crown chakra. The crown chakra is where we receive our downloads from. This is where the Sirius star, the higher self, actually communicates through that portal, through that line of consciousness. Which brings me to the old saying. Y'all remember this old saying? Let me know in the comments. Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. Do y'all remember that? I know a lot of y'all grew up in the church. Jesus is on the main line. What is the main line? The main line is the cord between the crown chakra and the higher self. That's the main line. Check. Put a check in the comments if we're getting it. The 7, the 7th chakra, the crown chakra, is the lightning bolt. It's the way in which we bring the information down. I was born on a 7 day. Just last video, I talked about the 777. How a woman, actually, this is so good, 1133, that's one of my spiritual numbers too. That's Dream and I, right? A lady on July 7th, so the video must have been July 7th or something like that. A lady has 4 kids, all 4 of her kids born on July 7th. So when that came into my spirit, I was like, oh, spirit, it's a lot going on with the 7. And then look, we got the check in the chat. The check looks like a 7 if you turn it. The check is the 7. Turn the correct way. I also talked about how God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. On the 7th day, Jesus rested. So there's so much energy and power available to us right now, right? And then spiritually, I was just like, okay, spirit, you giving us a lot, right? This Sirius energy, if you have been feeling like you have been receiving download after download, channel after channel, insight after insight, That's the Sirius star. That's the higher self. That's your higher dimensional self coming through and showering you with this energy to make sure that you are ready to embody yourself, your light, your purpose more powerfully. That is what this energy is all about. Okay? That's what's happening. So if you need support with that, listen, go get the reading. I'm putting it out there for you. Let me show y'all again really quickly what some different people are saying about him real quick. Let me know in the comments, how do y'all manage your downloads? Are you able to decipher them? Do you need help with it? I was talking to when I did when I did the reel talking about numbers, there were certain people on there that were like, yeah, Desiree, I be seeing the numbers, but I don't really know what it means. We got to work on that. We got to work on understanding what that means. Let's see what my girl Jenny talking about right here.
First of all,
First of
all, I would like to say, D-Ray, I love you. You're like, that reading was beyond on point. Beyond on point.
look,
You had suggested in the reading for me to watch a specific show. Literally, the day I got the reading is the day I finished watching that show. And
can't make it
trust
up.
me, I got a lot of gems from it, a lot of message I needed from it. So, yeah, we were definitely connected.
I love that. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. Let's see what this young lady says.
Thank you, D Ray. I just watched the love reading that you did for me, and I just want to say that it completely resonated with me. Like, it was spot on. I do get bored or restless if I'm in a relationship and I feel like I can't really fully be myself.
Spot on. Spot on. Let's see. Let's see what this guy says.
If I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I think that reading is so spot on. Brief background: I lost my father when I was.
Ooh, no brief background, buddy, but I'm glad that it's spot on. Let me see what this guy says.
Peace, D-Ray. I just want to say thank you so much for the reading. It was definitely on point. It was amazing. I got it on repeat. I'm definitely going to go ahead and download it to my.
That's so good. I love this. I be forgetting to watch these videos. It's so funny. Look at all those beautiful black men that are getting readings. That's dope. Beautiful black men getting readings, beautiful black women, and women and men of all races and spaces. Come and get your reading. It's all good. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all understand the power of this energy right now. This is a beautiful shift that is happening, that is really allowing us to embody more of our light. That is the essence. That is it. That is all. You know, if y'all have any questions, drop them in the comments. I love what Emerald Dream says. I've been angry, raging angry. Then after the venting, I get clarity, literally get the answer. That's exactly, that's in alignment with this energy. Okay. That's in alignment with this energy. And it's important that you understand that those emotions are guidance systems. That's why I was talking about why I'm so excited about these readings, because many of you are feeling like that. Many of you are having that experience. Like I said, yesterday I boohoo cried, right? I'll be telling y'all. But within that, that's again the higher self really revealing what is going on spiritually, energetically, that I need to shift in order for me to embody more of my own light. That's why it happens. So you want to know how to work through that energy. It's more powerful right now. It's more flagrant right now. It's more obvious right now what your higher self is communicating. If you need help decoding those messages, that's what the reading is for. If you need help, even trying to identify how your spirit is communicating with you, that's what the reading is for. But all in all, this is happening. And it's happening for all of us. It's not just me. It's not just you, but everybody that is under the influence of the sun is getting impacted with this energy, which is all of us. You guys, myself included, we are just lucky enough, privy enough to be able to optimize this time, right? We are just privy enough to be able to say, okay, I see what's happening. What do I want to do about it? How do I want to shift, change? How do I open up myself to all the other realities? How do I open myself up to all of the other opportunities that are available? Let me read this. Literally been angry as hell, emotional. Then I see a number or have a dream or I remember something from last year, a month ago, and it makes sense. A lot. I've been using chat. Yeah, Chat GPT is the plug. Chat GPT is the plug. It's really good for a lot of things, but some things Chat GPT can't be used for, right? Sometimes Chat GPT it misses nuance sometimes, but I love it. It is it's a great resource. All right. I love and appreciate y'all. I'm so glad you guys were able to see me live. I was emotional crying right before. Well, listen, Skyrocket 777. I hope that this message gives you some added clarity to whatever those tears were about, right? And and just stick with that 777 energy. You'll get everything that you need to get, okay? I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Really honor these dog days of summer. Honor this serious time. It is potent, it is powerful. You are literally in close connection, in close proximity with that higher dimensional version of yourself, right? Allow that to really take over you. Allow yourself to really have that experience. Be transfigured by this energy. Be transformed by this energy. All right? Peace and love, fam. We'll talk to y'all later. If you're getting the reading, make sure you fill out your consent form and I'm going to get it to you as soon as possible. Peace.